Hey y'all, welcome back to Whatever Jolie. Today I am going to be showing you guys my painting. It took me about 12 hours. I've cut it down to 10 minutes for you guys. So let's get into this video. And this video today will be discussing how to speak up for yourself and some tools that you can use that I found that were very useful. And lately, it's been working for me. So hopefully that this video can help you guys pick up some tools and keep it along with you all along your journey throughout life, because I really think that this is helpful. And I'm gonna stop talking and saying it's helpful and get to the helpful points. So before I move on to giving you guys tools to help you speak up for yourself, stand up for yourself, I just want to say that I realized that the reason why I wouldn't speak up a lot of times was, one, because I felt like if I did, that I would be rejected or like not understood. So I would just like be quiet about it, because I didn't want to feel like you didn't understand me after explaining and really expressing myself. Another thing is, I usually wouldn't speak up. And when that happens, obviously the shit is going to go unnoticed or not cared about or not acknowledged. So, that would make me feel a certain way too, because it's kind of like, well, how do you not know you're doing this to me or making me feel this kind of way when you're the one that's doing it? Yet I would not even say anything. So these people wouldn't even know what the fuck I was talking about a lot of times. So that's also, maybe that's a lot of the reasoning a lot of other people don't say stuff or don't speak up for themselves or don't feel comfortable talking, is for those reasons. Another thing can be the relationship with yourself is not as strong. So your self-confidence is a little bit low, or just low in general. So you don't feel like speaking up for yourself or standing up for yourself will make a difference. But you have to connect with yourself. You have to express yourself. You have to speak up. And I'll get into that a little bit later. That's a part of the tools in understanding yourself better. So I guess I'll just share like a sort of personal story with you guys. And yeah, so the painting that I'm doing in the video, I really express myself the most through art. That's writing, poetry, I guess painting, drawing, whatever. That really helps me get out of my head. So the painting today that you guys are seeing was inspired. I was listening to SZA's old stuff, and this was inspired by her, but also inspired by my own personal battle of speaking up for myself, because I found myself getting very frustrated with people and with things, and it came from lack of expressing myself. And I knew that it was just like I mentioned before, the one or two things, like either unnoticed or just rejected. So my painting is reflecting that. So basically, long story short, what happened was that I was feeling very unheard, very unappreciated, and not acknowledged for, I guess, my feelings. Like, I felt like I was being put to the side, and it was like no matter how much I stood up for myself or spoke up, it just was not being communicated effectively. And so I don't know about you guys, but I'm very dramatic, but that's just me. And I'm also really deep into my feelings. Like, once I feel something, I just ride that emotion until I can't ride it anymore. So I've learned that no matter what, you have got to speak up for yourself, period. Like, it doesn't matter how the other person is going to feel after you say what you have to say, because everyone is entitled to their feelings. If they're mad about what you had to say, well, let them be mad. You don't get sucked into that, because they're entitled to how they feel. As long as you express yourself and get it out, then that's really all that matters for your mental health. You should also note, do this with kindness and respect and love. If you can't do it with love, like, fine, whatever. But do it with kindness and respect, because what you give out is what you get back. So if you want to be a rude ass little whatever, you're going to get that back 9 times out of 10. So to communicate effectively would be to talk to someone with kindness and respect, just like you would like to be talked to. Even when you're upset, you can stop and say, you know what? I don't like what you're saying to me right now. It's making me angry. If you can just chill or wait on that, or I'm not in the mood to talk about this right now, we can talk about this later. But I'm basically telling you to speak up in the moment it happens, because if you don't, it's just gonna fester, and we all know how that turns out. It just boils and boils and boils till it reaches its boiling point, and then it's a wrap for most people. For me at least, I will tear shit up. So me learning to speak up for myself in the moment, at the moment, has really helped me evolve and enlighten my experiences. I'm able to see from a different perspective, which is another tool you can use, is seeing things from another perspective, understanding that perspective, and still speaking up for yourself. So, these things are very important. To harness and to learn. It will help you express yourself and become a healthier person mentally. You won't be so caught up in, well, what did he really mean? What did she really mean by that? But more so like, you know what? I said what I said. It is what it is. If things don't change, then, you let that shit go. Literally, let it go. Do all that you can do. Try your very best, express yourself the best that you can, so that when it gets to the point of, you know what, this isn't working, or this is working, or you've expressed yourself so much that now you're at a point where you can let it go to wherever it's going to go, and you're okay with how you said it and who you are and mentally where you are. This shit is not easy. By all means, this is not easy. It is not an overnight process. Honestly, when you finally commit to yourself and tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to stand up for myself regardless of how I look, how I make that person feel, or whatever, like, you're going to be in a very peaceful place. When I say your mental health, it is important, because if you don't know, now I'm going to tell you, but you're programming yourself to believe things about yourself that are not true. So if you don't speak up for yourself in the moment, someone disrespects you, or someone is rude to you, or someone does something that you don't like, and you let it go, you're subconsciously telling yourself that what you have to say is not important, and that you're not worthy of respect. And it subconsciously tells yourself that, you know what? I don't respect myself. I don't love myself. Yeah, okay, you may think, oh, that's real deep. That's too deep. But that's exactly where it goes, to your deeper mind. You're telling yourself that just shut up, because it doesn't matter. No one cares anyway. When in fact, it does matter. You have to set your programming up differently. You have to tell yourself, you know what? I am going to speak up for myself because I love myself, because I respect myself. And I'm going to get other people to do the same thing. And that's what it is. So when you don't speak up for yourself, you're telling yourself, you know what, it's not important. Hey, it doesn't matter. They can walk all over me. They can say however they feel about me, and it matters. I just need to be quiet. No, you have to tell them. You have to set it straight. Set your boundaries. And yes, setting boundaries is hard. At least for me, it was hard. It was like, because I'm a very caring and forgiving and loving person, and I just want everyone to be happy and, get along and not use me or take advantage of me or walk all over me. But this is the real world, and it doesn't work that way. You have to set your boundaries. You have to let them know, you know what I have to say is important. What I have to say is valuable, just like what you have to say is valuable. But what I have to say is also just as valuable. So that's another thing. Like, you have to speak up for yourself. You have to get your game up. Like, wake your game up. Like, get it together where you could be a strong person. And that's all I have to bring to you guys today. And so just speak up for yourself in the moment, no matter what that person is going to feel or think. They're entitled to their feelings and thoughts just as you are. Keep it light, keep it love. Peace and blessings. I'm out. See ya.